Hello everyone, welcome to the Legal Quorum. My name is Riya Sharma and I am pursuing my BA LLB honors from Maharishi Dayan University, Gurugram. And today we'll be discussing the most important case from the aspect of narco analysis test and its legality. And this case highlights the balance between the crime investigation and the fundamental right. So, before knowing the Amlesh Kumar versus State of Bihar case, we have to first understand what is narco analysis test. So, narco analysis test is a test in which a person is injected with a drug which is known as sodium pentothal, which puts a person in a semi-conscious state. And this drugs lower the persons and makes harder a person from lying. Now, investigators believe that the person may speak truth in this condition, because in semi-conscious state it is pertinent to know that the person makes this drugs make the person harder to lie. The serum is also known as truth serum. However, this is not 100% reliable evidence, because there is possibility that such person can mix his own imagination while conducting this test. This test is very controversial due to concerns about human right, consent and mental privacy. Now, let us know the background of the case and what happened in this case. So, Amlesh Kumar versus State of Bihar judgment was passed by Supreme Court on 9th June 2025, which we have already discussed in the previous slides. Let us understand what happened in this case. Amlesh Kumar was accused of murdering his own wife under dowry death. While his bail application was pending before Patna High Court, the court passed an order and directed Amlesh Kumar should undergo a narco analysis test. This direction was passed without the consent of accused. Amlesh Kumar, who is accused in this case, later challenged the Patna High Court order in Supreme Court. He argued that it is a violation of his own constitutional right under Article 20 Clause 3, which is right against self-incrimination. Now, what are the main issues before the Supreme Court? So, these are the main issues what Supreme Court is solving about. First, that is, can a court force accused to undergo a narco test without their consent? Second, does such order violate the right against self-incrimination under Article 20 Clause 3 of Indian Constitution? Third is, can such be ordered during bail hearing? And the last is, can an accused voluntarily go for a narco test? So, Supreme Court also referred Selvi versus State of Karnataka in this judgment. What this judgment is saying? The Supreme Court in this landmark judgment ruled that narco test, polygraph test and brain mapping test are not permissible without the consent of accused, because it violates the main article, which is 20 Clause 3 of Constitution. Even with the consent, the test result no solid evidence, and we have to corroborating the evidence further. The court emphasized mental privacy, dignity and protection from forced confessions. The judgment in this case is the Supreme Court quashed the High Court's order of conducting narco test of accused without his own consent, and ruled that such narco analysis test cannot be forced even during the bail proceedings, and such test without consent violates the Article 20 Clause 3 of Indian Constitution. It goes against the mental autonomy and privacy, and Supreme Court also ruled that it is an indefeasible right of an accused, and court held that such order was illegal and unconstitutional. Now, what this case teaches us? So, firstly, the judgment reinforced the ideas that means of investigation must be constitutional, even if the goal is to find the truth. We have to find the truth, but our goal has to be secure the constitutional right of individual. No one can be forced to give evidence against themselves, especially through an involuntary scientific test. Mental integrity and personal dignity are the part of the fundamental right also under Article 21. This case highlights the need for balance between justice and human rights. Now, let us understand what totally happens in this case and conclude this session. That Amlesh Kumar versus State of Bihar is an important judgment on the limits of police and court powers. The Supreme Court clearly said in this case that narco analysis test without consent is unconstitutional. In Selvi precedent, ruling protects the dignity, privacy and autonomy of every individual, even the accused also. It reminds us the path of the truth must have always go through the law and not with the force. Thank you everyone. Hope you like it.